everybody, this is Suze from Revelation Quilts. You know, I like to look for inspiration for my quilts in all kinds of places, everywhere. I call it my Quiltspiration. And the other day I was looking on Pinterest and this piece of artwork came up. Here's a picture of it. And I thought that would make an awesome quilt because it kind of has this optical illusion factor to it. And really it looks pretty simple. And it's just a matter of lights and darks and then like in between tone or a medium toned piece. And so I thought I could make a quilt out of that really easily. And so I decided to make a tutorial out of it as I went along. So follow along. I guarantee you it's so simple. It turned out so easy, but the after effects, the final product is really awesome and it's really dramatic. And so you can get something that looks so amazing from just something really simple. So follow along and we'll do this together. And I hope you enjoy and I hope you try it for yourself. Well, let's go.
So here I have a pile of my lightest 5-inch squares that I'm just going out of my scrap pile. So these are the lightest 5-inch squares I found. And then I found some of my darkest 5-inch squares that were in my scrap pile. So we want, for this pattern to work, we need a good contrast between the light and the dark. And then the other part of it is we are going to have 2.5-inch squares of a medium value to create the optical illusion. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take all of these and cut them in half. So we're going to end up with a square that is 2.5 by 5. So I'm just going to put my ruler on the 2.5-inch mark. 1, 2.5, and cut. And so I'm just going to create a pile of these. And that is really all that we're going to need besides our 2.5-inch squares of the medium value print. So just start doing that and we'll go from there. So I got some 2.5 by 5-inch strips, and now I'm going to do the same thing to my dark ones. I'm just going to cut them in half so they are 2.5 by 5. We're going to have a pile of each of those going down the line. It's just really so simple, but I'm hoping that it's going to create this awesome optical illusion that I saw on the Pinterest board. So here I have my assortment of dark 2.5 by 5-inch strips and my light 2.5 5-inch strips. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my dark strips and I'm going to find a 2.5-inch square that I would consider a medium value. So it's lighter than the dark print, but darker than the white. So here's a nice green one that I'm going to put, and I'm just going to put this on the bottom like this, and I'm going to draw a line with pencil that goes diagonally from here to here. And I'm just going to sew, right along that line. Get everything lined up. So there you have that, and you know you got it straight if you can fold it over and it creates the same shape as your original one. And then I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut about 1/4 inch off that edge so that it lays nice and flat. and that's called snowballing. So that is what you should have. Now what we're going to do then is we're going to pair it up with one of your light or white strips. Now half of them you're going to sew on this side, and the other half you're going to sew on this side. So just what I would do, and what I'm going to do, is just make a bunch of these first and put them in two separate piles, and then I'm going to sew the white on the left side of half of them and on the right side of the other half. So when you sew your white strip on, you're just going to put it right sides together and sew your 1/4 inch seam right down the side like this. So that's what it looks like, and then you're going to press it to the dark side. And I'm just going to finger press it for now. I'm going to iron them all later. So you should have half of them look like that. Let's do another one going the other way. So here's another 2.5 by 5 inch strip. It seems short, but it's not. I'm going to find a different one that is a medium value. Let's find one that I like. Here's a nice blue that's a medium value. I'm just going to put it on the end like this, draw my line diagonally, and it's the same angle no matter which pile you have it in. And then just sew right down that line. Cut off your 1/4 inch seam allowance. And there you have it. And then this one, I'm going to sew the white strip onto the left side. So I'm just going to, on the left side. So I'm just going to put these together like so, and just go right down the line. And that's what the other one looked like. And you're going to press these to the dark side on both of them. So half of your strips will look like this, and the other half will look like this. And that's all there is to it. It's so easy. And then we'll put them together. So I decided to trim mine to 4 inches. And all you have to do is lay your 2-inch line on that center seam and then trim off the sides, turn it over, and do the same thing. Just put that 2-inch line on the center seam and then just trim. So what you'll end up with is you will end up with half of yours will have the light one going to one side, and the other half will have the light going to the opposite side. So that when you lay them out, you will put one whole row going that way, and the other row will be going this way. So that will help with that optical illusion. And so you'll just sew each together in rows, and then you'll sew all of your rows together. So let's do that right now. So I've got my first row here, and I'm just going to sew them together. This was the first one. I'm just going to take the next one and put them right sides together, just so that every other one is that white square. And I'm just going to sew this whole row together using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And then I'm going to finger press them all towards the dark side. And just start adding them as we go. This goes together so fast. I was shocked at how fast it went together because you could pretty much chain piece all parts of this quilt. Last one. So that is the first row. It goes together so fast. I can't believe it. So I'm going to sew all the rows together and put it up on the design board, and I'll show you what it looks like. So there it is. I've got all the pieces together. And the nice thing about this quilt is that you can make it as big or as small as you want. Just keep adding pieces onto the sides and the top and the bottom. So you can make it as big or little as you want. And I swear this pattern goes so fast. I couldn't believe how fast that it came together. I'm going to put 2 borders on it, one light and one dark. But the thing I'm happiest about is that it really does have that optical illusion like I saw in the original picture. So I'm super pleased about that. And I can't believe how easy that it came together. So there's the final after I put a 2.5 inch white border around and then another 2.5 inch darker border. And I'm so thrilled with how it turned out. I thought it turned out great, and that optical illusion is definitely in there. Especially with that white border around the edge, it just all kind of looks like it's floating there. And the dark border around for the outer border, I couldn't be happier with it. So I hope that you try this and make it. And like I said, it's so easy. It went so fast. And thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like this and subscribe. And also hit that notification bell so that you can be notified whenever a new tutorial comes out. And if you have any questions about this or any of my tutorials, please put something in the comments and I will definitely get back to you and try to answer your question. Thanks for watching.